Alright, so this video is about all fights go to the ground, quote end quote. Everybody says that all the time, and they're just so annoying to me. Being somebody who's a stand-up, fighter, stand-up martial arts, stand-up human being. I mean, you go out there in this world, everybody's walking around. They're walking. They're not crawling everywhere. We're not like squirrels, We're walking. We're driving cars. We're using bicycles. We're not animals, we're human beings. We're walking on two legs, and I keep promoting people to stand up and fight, stand up and run, stand up and just do what we do good, what we're good at doing. And everybody's always talking about all this ground fighting and this whole Royce Gracie, BJJ, and how effective it is. And I just want to say, like, this last fight that everybody saw, everybody's all interested in, the Rousey and the Nunes, that fight certainly didn't go on the ground, Rousey was getting completely demolished with just basic jabs and crosses. And that's exactly how real fights go on the streets. It's just that it'll end even quicker. So instead of ending in 48 seconds, it probably would have ended in that first hit, without the gloves and all that. And with somebody who's trained with their fists, like the iron fists, like the kung fu stuff, she probably would have broke her jaw in the first hit. All her teeth would be gone. She'd have her teeth all over the floor, bleeding. The fight would have just ended in one hit. That's how a real fight is. And in the real fight, it probably just end with a gun. And Rousey would just be dead. She wouldn't even be alive anymore to collect $300 million or $3 million or whatever. She wouldn't be alive to collect the $3 million. That's real fights on the streets. Okay, so I just want people to realize that. Like, you look at the news articles, people are getting shot and killed, and it's not a game out there in the streets. And even in this cage, the fight did not go onto the ground. So what happened there? Everybody says all fights go to the ground, but clearly that fight didn't go to the ground. She got demolished. She got embarrassed. And she's a ground fighter, and everybody's always like, oh, yeah, just take her to the ground. Just take her to the ground and she'll win. She obviously didn't win. Not in this fight or the fight that she had before. So I want this fight to represent people to come to an appreciation for stand-up fighters, an appreciation for real boxers, or an appreciation for real kickboxers, an appreciation for real Muay Thai boxers, an appreciation for like real, martial artists out there. And I think people need to open their eyes and just realize that this whole UFC thing is just one big hype. Like, these people, they make them seem like they're so amazing. These big name people like this Rousey or this McGregor, but they're getting beat by amateurs. Like somebody like a Nunes or like a Diaz or whatever. I mean, it's just people that are just decent in stand up are just destroying these people. And I just want people to head towards, get off the ground, stand up, and fight. Or just don't fight. You either fight standing up or just don't fight at all. I mean, that's the way that I see it. And, like, I've always respected boxing and boxers. And the more real boxers that get into the cage, it's just going to show how effective stand-up fighting is, and we need to get off the ground. It's like people eating spaghetti off the floor. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're not rodents. We're not like rats. We're not squirrels. We're human beings. We should be eating like sitting down at a table. Everything's nice with utensils, and we got to eat with class. So if we're going to fight, okay, first we shouldn't be fighting at all. But if we are going to fight, let's fight with some class, okay? Let's not fight like we're rodents. Okay, so I'm I hope that this whole BJJ and wrestling and this whole Gracie era, it completely dies and just ends to the point where people just be like, you know what? This ground fighting is so disgusting, so ugly, so, you know, boring. Let's look at some stand-up fighters and let's be entertained by that. And people, then it'll head people towards more of the real martial arts, where it's like, it's more clean techniques. It's just, it's entertaining. It's like, wow, that's a nice kick. He just knocked her out with a kick, like a spin kick, whatever, um, and then eventually just get away from fighting altogether. Just get your gun, get armed, and only use it when you really need to, and then keep your hands clean. Try not to use it at all, and then come to the point where you just don't even want to fight because it's not even necessary. So I just want people just to reflect on that. Because I think it's come to the point where it's time for that. See through all the hype that's going on out there, and start training in the real. And but that's it. That's all I gotta say.